Hey everyone, I'm Don Perlman at Unveil the Web. Do you realize that right now we are going through one of the biggest shifts that we have ever seen in technology, in marketing, in entertainment, in how we live our lives all the way around? Technology is changing things so rapidly that keeping up with it for many business owners is a hassle. It feels like a time waster, and yet it's one of the most critical things that you will ever do, especially when it comes to your marketing. See, there are all kinds of things happening out there that are shifting us, and if we don't pay attention to what's going on, if we don't make the shifts, if we don't make the adjustments, we're going to end up like Blockbuster, who ignored Netflix and ended up in complete bankruptcy. We'll be like the taxi cab industry that said, well, the internet's never going to touch our lives, and yet Uber has completely flipped their world upside down. How about in just about every area of your life you can think of in the last 5 to 10 years, you have had some type of disturbance in your business because of the internet? Now, what I want to share with you real briefly is that if you don't get a handle on your marketing and how to message your marketing properly, if you don't make the shift from thinking in a mass marketing context, meaning simply that you are trying to get a whole bunch of traffic for the only purpose of getting a few people to buy from you, then you are missing the boat completely, and your web sales are going to suffer. People filling out the forms, it's not going to happen. People subscribing to your email list, they're not going to do it. Why? Because you have to learn to communicate, number one, what business you're really in. Number two, what are the tangible values that you bring to your audience? In other words, how do they experience you and how do they feel about the experience that they've had with you? Number three, from those tangible experiences, what specific problems do you solve? I'm not talking generic problems. I'm not talking about wording sentences in ways that they look like problems, but they're really solutions. I'm talking about only thinking of the problems that you specifically solve for Johnny or Susie or Mary and Jane or Tom and Harry. What specific problems are you solving? Third, who are you specifically solving them for? That is a critical function of how you have to start thinking, because that's part of the massive shift that's going on from mass marketing to context marketing. And then finally, how are your products or services a part of a solution? When you can lay that foundation, then what you do is set the stage to be able to tell people really quickly and concisely what business you're really in. So I don't like it when I hear things like, I heard an M&T Bank commercial this morning and the guy says, we're not in the banking business, we're in the business of people. Come on. Really? All of us are in the business of people, or we wouldn't be in business. And I don't care how automated your business is. If you don't have people buying you, then it doesn't matter. M&T, as a bank, has a purpose for their business. It's their job to really find out what it is and communicate the business that they're really in from the customer's point of view. That's the shift that we have to make. So if you're not sure how to do that, you can do two things right now. Number one, you can either go and buy my book. It's only $2.99 on Amazon. You're going to get loaded with information and case studies on exactly what this all means, and maybe even some ideas of how to do it yourself. Or two, you can hire me as your coach or your consultant to come in and actually quiz you on how to do this, because I can tell you right now, you cannot do this by yourself. I don't care how skilled you are. Only thinking inside your own mind will only get you the results you've been getting, because you don't know, number one, what you don't know, and number two, you don't have someone experienced enough that's actually, in yourself I mean, that's actually experienced enough to come in and know what questions to ask you to drill down to get those right answers. So there's the two things you can do right now. Hope that you'll consider doing one of those two. If you don't do anything else, get my book, The Shift, the fast-paced transition from mass marketing to context marketing, and learn how to resonate with your audience so that you give them a reason to buy from you.